Knowing that they were led by the divine, they marched across the continent to bring liberty, justice, and freedom to all. There were covered wagons, men on horseback, women and children, all moving to a grand design that they saw in the land and the offerings. There were Davy Crockett, Daniel Boone, Kit Carson, all of them moving through this country with the purpose of meeting on the West Coast, the continent we were to own as ours, as the United States of America, a swash across the North American continent, from sea to shining sea. Mr. O'Sullivan, who coined the phrase manifest destiny, explained it this way: we are entering on its untrodden space with the truths of God in our minds. We are a nation of human progress who will, what can see the limits to our onward march. Providence is with us, and no earthly power can stop us. We survived the Great Depression in 1929, and we're moving ahead again. And then it's December 7th, 1941. And America was attacked in Pearl Harbor. We had done everything we could to stay out of war, and were hardly prepared. Our military was small. We did not have lots of ships, tanks, trucks, or other materials. Manifest destiny again stepped in. Within months, we were able to mount a firm defense and go on to victory. Manifest destiny, our belief that a nation led by God, we would always prevail. And now, here we are 70 years later, and all is chaos. People are at each other's throat. There's hate, anger, resentment everywhere. Where is our manifest destiny now? It's right here, in this very room. We, as metaphysicians, have a manifest destiny. We have the ability to bring peace and justice and freedom, just as our forefathers dreamed. It is up to us to let our light shine, to practice what we preach. It's not a time to sit back, it's a time to act. Let us begin with our personal lives. Do you know who you really are? Do you have a goal for your life? Do you meditate and pray regularly? Do you feel, as the pioneers did, that God is with you all the way? This is where we begin. We need to look at ourselves, to look at what we want from life. You know, it's not easy. Never has been. But I said we need to practice what we preach. And we say that if we need to get where we need to go, we use prayer and meditation and take action. And this is what I'm talking about today. We have a manifest destiny to bring peace out of chaos. So let's begin at the beginning. What is our goal? I would say our goal is to bring peace out of chaos, peace out of violence to the Central Valley. I believe we can do it. Remember, everybody has a goal. If you look back, Declaration of Independence? We're out of here, England. Land. Crossing the land, claiming it not only for themselves but for God, claiming this wonderful, wonderful continent. And then protection. We rose to the needs to protect our country. So we need to have a goal. Now, what is your goal in life? We're starting with personal stuff. Do you want financial success? Okay, what's your plan to achieve it? What will you do with your wealth once you have it? Perhaps your goal is to help people in need. How are you going to accomplish this? Do you need more education? Do you need a group of people of like mind? What is it you need? You must feel this goal, whatever it is. You must know that is you at work. Your goal is the center of your life experience. And folks, if you don't have a goal, you're not going anywhere. You need to have a goal. To figure it out, though, you need to meditate and pray on it and listen for the reply of the universe. Remember, there are no coincidences. Whatever comes to you, in meditation or otherwise, is something to look at, and consider. Roy Eugene Davis tells us, if you want to get anywhere, you have to have a destination and a direction in which to move. This gives you a sense of stability and a reason for putting forth your creative energies. It enables you to see definite accomplishment of goals, each step adding to the realization of the success feeling of previous accomplishments. It gives you a feeling of fulfillment and acts as a steady base from which to operate as you are to receive new inspiration to launch out into greater fields of endeavor. Meditate, think about it, cogitate. Once your goal is established, you see to see it happen. Do you not believe that the pioneers, as they crossed America, did not have a vision of a new home on their own land? Or perhaps of a new business in a small town somewhere out there? Of course they did. Why else would they be tromping across the country? So visualize your goal. See yourself accomplishing it. See the things happening that you have set as your goal. And it does happen, folks, and it sometimes takes time. I've had an experience with my son who was setting up a business that wasn't going anywhere. Finally, he threw up his hands and got a job. And he's better off than he's ever been in all his life. And it took 2 years of prayer to get there, but we did. We did. So visualize it, see it happening. See what you want in your hands. See people congratulating you on what you are doing. And above all else, you need to take action each day toward your goal. Remember the pioneers crossing the continent, the independent thinkers writing the Declaration of Independence, the people of 1941 acting to protect their homeland. This is the manifest destiny of your life. Let us put these concepts into action today. It is the manifest destiny of Unity of Fresno to reduce violence and chaos in the Central Valley by 10% or more by August the 1st. Yes. Can you agree with me for that? Yes. Yes. As a goal. The method that we're going to use is meditation and prayer and visualization. Now, I'm not asking you to go out on the street corner and preach. That's not how it's done. Preaching is just that, preaching. But if you use meditation and prayer and visualization, see this area being free of all the anger and chaos that is created here. See it happening, wonder. I don't know how many of you have lived in the valley most of your life. I've lived in the valley all of my life. But look back and see your city. See the country around you at peace and enjoying life. See the time when we didn't lock our doors. See the time when kids played in the street. See the time when youngsters could climb on a bike and ride to the YMCA and enjoy what it had to offer. See these things happening now in the Central Valley. Now, you know, we have to, again, know that this is God's work we're doing. And you know, when you talk about action, all right, so you're going out there, and by the way that you behave, people are interested. And you don't have to be all preachy and stuff. All you have to do is say, like, hey, have you noticed there's been a lot more good stuff going on? People are helping each other. And they'll probably look at you like, yeah. But you know what? Down in Hanford, there was a gentleman who brought tamales each day to the front of the community store. And he would sell the tamales. Well, one day some smarty decided to call the police. 2 policemen arrived and talked to the man. And after speaking with him for a few minutes, they grabbed 2 baskets and went into the store and began loading up food for he and his family. And then all of a sudden, the other people in the store said, what's going on? And the policeman told them. And they added to the baskets. And when it was done, he walked away with 2 full baskets of food for his family. Don't tell me good things aren't happening. There was another situation where a man was sitting in a restaurant, and he looked out the window, and there was this man covered with tattoos and looking very hungry. And so the gentleman in the restaurant signaled to him, are you hungry? Yes. Come in, come in. And so the man got up and came into the restaurant. And the gentleman said to the waitress, whatever he orders, whatever he wants, bring it to him, I will pay the bill. And they brought him lots of food, and he thoroughly enjoyed. And as he was enjoying his food, the gentleman sat over and began to talk to him. And he said, you know, I wasn't always homeless like this, but I got all these tattoos and now nobody will hire me. And the man looked at him and said, you want to work? And he said, of course I want to work. So the gentleman said, I am having a truckload of sod delivered to my place tomorrow morning. If you want a job helping to lay that sod, be here at 7:45 and I will pick you up. He was there and he worked all day. And at the end of the day, the man paid him and said, I have a motel room for you over here so you can get some good rest tonight. And then he said, I have other jobs probably coming up. Keep in touch. There aren't good people out there. You better believe there are lots of them, lots of them. So, and by the way, I've had some experience with this one. Back in the 1970s, I was a real estate broker. And it was one of those dry years again, and everybody was moaning and groaning because January and February, March had been almost without any water, no rain. Oh boy, I mean, and of course real estate, you know, things don't work real well if the outlook out there is not good. So my office was groaning and groaning. So I walked in one morning and I said, it's going to be a wet April. And they all looked at me like I'd gone out of my mind. And I said, I know it. I have it on good authority. It's going to be a wet April. Are you with me? They believed me. And they carried it out with them as they did their work. And it was a wet April. It happens, folks. What we believe, what we firmly follow, happens. So what I am saying to you this morning, are you willing for the month of July to pray, to treat, to visualize, and to spread the good word that there's lots of good people around here and it can happen all over the place? Are you willing to join me?
Yes. Yes.
All right. So this is the manifest destiny for Unity of Fresno. And I know that we will meet our goal. Believe with me, know with me that we can reduce this violence. We can make this a far happier place to live. It is our manifest destiny. And so it is.